cold, bro. All right. Chocolate. All right, man. I'm gonna review this Verb versus Brizz Rothstein. I probably watched it probably 2 or 3 times. And then I'm gonna give my opinion on this rookies versus vets. Actually, I'll give my opinion on the rookies versus vets so far. Smack has dropped 3 battles. I think the first one, everybody was saying that the Saga beat Suge. I call him the Suge. I think Suge beat the Saga, personally. What I think it is, man, I think that so many people really want to see these rookies win that they're creating this bias. And it's like, man, just judging it as a battle, the Saga was a little too, I think he tried to do a little bit too much with the wordplay when you're battling somebody like Suge. And I think that kind of goes back to that Mook versus Lux battle. You know, you have to be careful of writing these super intricate bars and the detailed stuff that a lot of people may not pick up on when you're playing off of, like kind of pop culture references or whatever you're doing. You have to be careful and use very, very general stuff when you're battling against somebody that comes with basic bars. And I think that's what the Mook versus Lux was. Mook was straightforward. I mean, he's throwing, he's throwing a shot that's hitting you directly in the chin, where the other dude is, Lux, and that he was trying to throw, a roundabout hook and haymakers that are connecting, 3 views later. And I don't think that's how you win those battles. I think Suge was direct, got directly to his point, did what Suge does, and got him, beat him the way Suge beats people, even though you may not think that's too often. DNA versus Chess, I think that battle wasn't a good battle because Chess, threw up at the beginning on the first round, and it kind of did something to the battle. It gave DNA an automatic round, so it's like one of those boxing matches where you're judging it, and it's like, all right, man, the other dude might be hitting harder, but you still have to give it to DNA because he had, that first round. So to me, that battle it did not live up to its potential because of that. I think it hurt the battle. Did Chess make some fans and people want to see him again? Yeah, I think that did happen. Is DNA probably the most DNA is probably the most consistent battle rapper, but that's probably his problem too, is he's so consistent that you get the exact same thing every time. And I think sometimes DNA lacks creativity, and then when he tries to be creative, he kind of goes too far with it. Like maybe he's using other people's ideas or something, or he's not, I don't know, but to me, DNA is he's getting boring. Alright, now the Verb versus Brizz Rothstein. This battle was weird to me because it seemed like the crowd really wanted Brizz Rothstein to win. And based on a lot of the comments that I read, it seems like early people were really I heard somebody say Brizz Rothstein wanted a body. Like that, wow, I think the crowd was biased. I think Verb is not liked. I think Verb is a legitimate bad guy in battle rap. All the KOTD fans hate him. He went out there and pretty much stole KOTD's money. He is very confident in himself, and confidence turns a lot of people off, because if you are, and I'm not saying that people are like this, I'm not, but there are obviously, if a person is insecure, they do not want to hear another confident person talk. That's the last thing you want to hear, because that person is kind of exemplifying the qualities that are kind of the opposite of what, or kind of the qualities of what you're missing. Like that person almost has like the missing pieces that would make you whole, almost, so to speak. Very rugged way of trying to kind of express that idea, but hopefully people kind of get what I mean. There's really nothing wrong with confidence. I think Verb, I think he tries to argue with people a lot of times, and that is a turnoff. And I don't like to see that a lot, where he really kind of forces arguments and stuff. But I'm only here to judge in battle. And man, on that stage, I think he lightweight bodied Brizz Rothstein, personally. I watched probably about 2-3 times, probably closer to 3 times. It was 2 different levels, man. When I look at Brizz to me seemed like a dude that gets a bunch of ideas, like he's walking down the street or something, and he just gets an idea of a bar and he jots it down, and he's at the mall and he gets an idea for a bar and he jots it down. And then at the end of the day, he takes all these, fragmented bars that he has and he merges them all together to get around. And it's a lot of stuff he says it sounds good, it's hot stuff, you know what I mean, but it just doesn't flow right. It just sounds like somebody just took a bunch of stuff and just mashed it together. As where when Verb, it seems like Verb sat down and he wrote a whole round. It seems like his rounds have direction. They flow together more. It's not like just somebody that's just hitting everywhere. It's going over here, then up here, then sometimes you need direction. You need a little consistency within your round, and I think Verb does that. I think Verb really showed you that he's just a more professional rapper. Brizz Rawlstein, it really looked like a rookie versus vet. It really did. And I think Verb lightweight bodied him. I think the only difference is that the crowd support wasn't there. Like I said, I think that it's a little biased. I think people wanted to see Brizz win. On top of that, I think Verb is a bad guy. And if it wasn't a biased crowd, I think it would have Brizz. We probably would call this a body, because Verb would have got way more reaction than he got, and that would have put pressure on Brizz. Brizz did not have the pressure on him that he should have had, because the crowd took that pressure off of him. But I think this is, when you just look at the bars, really, and I know and I'm not hating on people, but we're not used to judging battles like that. People are used to getting, crowd support in terms of judging battles. The crowd lets you know what's good and what's bad. But when you get something like this where the crowd wants a certain guy to win and it views another guy as a bad guy, the crowd support is not really going to tell you the story here. And you're just going to have to judge it for yourself. I used to write raps. I mess around, freestyle at parties, just mess around now. But I could actually write. I went into some stuff on another video that I made, just to, some stuff I wrote down just to prove that I actually can do it. But I'm a lyric guy. I'm not with the new stuff that goes on, you know what I mean? Where it's, I'm old school from when people really focused on lyrics and you bought an album based on the lyrics. And, yeah, dude, I think it's sad to see people saying that there's people out there saying Brizz won 2-1 and 3. That to me is just ridiculous. It's like either you are just riding Brizz or you're really lost without crowd reaction. And no, he hurt him, man, especially in the third round. Like, Verb left the planet in the third round. I think Verb started out a little slow in some of the rounds, but it's like he gets to a certain point in the round, man, and he just turns it on. Even like people are hating on his first round. He started a little slow, but looking to about a minute into his first round, he starts locking it down. Then everything he does ended with Rawlstein sounded like Rawlstein, and it's like you notice that, and then he dropped that line in there. I thought his creativity was unmatched. I thought his pen game was unmatched. I thought the consistency within the rounds. I thought that it was fluid rounds. I thought that it all went together. It had a direction to it. As where Rawlstein, like I said, once again, Rawlstein just sounded like a bunch of random ideas just kind of forced together. And a couple hot bars in there by him, but to me, it's just not about, how many hot bars do you have. It's so much more than just that, It's, performance does play in, vocal projection does play in, the kind of how mature is your rap? You know what I mean? Are you just out here just saying a bunch of nice stuff that doesn't really flow and is all out of context? So yeah, Verb, man, this to me is like a lightweight body, really. I'm not gonna say it's a body bag, but I think that if the crowd participation put it this way, if this battle was somewhere else, man, and you got an unbiased crowd, this could have been a body bag, because the pressure on Rawlstein would have been a lot greater. But there's no comparison here. Rawlstein to me, you're not ready, man. You're not ready for that stage. Verb was right. You're not ready. All right, that's it.